Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. As you can tell, rather pink and red in the face. I'm currently in Cape Verde, and the beer we've got is one that was kindly picked up really on a boat trip from a couple of friends of ours. Now, we done this same boat trip whale watching, but for reasons I didn't pick up a can. They went on the boat trip the following day, asked them if they could pick one up for me. So we've got sort of like, I'm not even exactly sure where it's from. I'm going to say it's a Cape Verdean beer. I can't read all the small writing, but what we've got is a can of Wuld, I don't know, whatever, pilsner. So it's pilsner in a can. That's the brand. Can you see it on the side there? W-U-L-D. It's a pilsner, 330ml can. And it's coming in at 4.5%. Now this is what we got all included on the boat trip out. I did have a couple, like I say, never managed to get one off the boat. They got one back for me, asked them very nicely. It's been in the fridge, so I'm going to give it a go. And the only reason I'm reviewing this is because it is the only can I can get hold of it. So it's 330ml. I'm going to whack out this review really quick. I've got another couple of other beers in the fridge. The bottle's quite small, but the shop in the hotel does stock them. So I'm going to buy another one of each of them at least, so I can review them and have a bit more time to do it. But there you go. There's the artwork on the can. There we go. Typical sort of, you know, when you go to some of these countries, you expect that kind of artwork on the can. So let's get cracked open. It's been in the fridge for a good 24 hours or more. I've got a glass that looks like it's covered in fluff and everything, because, you know, you don't get beer clean glasses over here. There we go. Yeah, there's all sorts of little bits. I'm expecting the head to die on this beer, but we'll give it a crack. It's nice and cold. It's about, I don't know what time it is, about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. We've just fallen out with people on the sunbeds next to us because there was an incident around the pool and they didn't like what we're saying. But hey ho, there we go. Baz Lakes Brew t-shirt on. So let's get this into a glass and see what we get. Like I said, when I went on the trip, I had a couple of these. I had a couple of beers already, it's got to be said. Been drinking since about 10. Hey ho, never mind. Beer in a glass. There we go, give it a tap. Glass is actually pretty clean. Golden, clear, plenty of carbonation going up. It's not a nucleated glass, it's a gassy looking beer. We got about a finger of white compact head on top. It looks like a lager. So, let's go in on the nose, see what we get. Malty, a little bit sweet, a little bit generic, if we're honest. There is a little bit of a pilsner hoppy bite to this as well. But yeah, I mean, doesn't wow you, but also there's nothing particularly, there's no Burton-on-Trent in this one, obviously, which is what you'd expect. I'll tell you what, if I got the Burton-on-Trent aroma in this one, there's something wrong. So let's dive in. Wuld, whatever you want to call it. Pilsner, 4.5%, 330ml can. Free on the boat trip. Let's dive in. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, and to be honest, very generic. I will admit, the 2 bottles that I've got in the fridge, I've had them out of a bottle because I picked 2 of each up, so I've tried them. But the 1 bottle in the fridge you can't get on tap in the hotel, the other one you can. So when it comes down to it, I can only rate the 1 beer for what I'm tasting out of the bottle. The beer that is in the bottle in the fridge is a lot better than out the tap, but I'm not going to compare it to this. But this one, on its own, seriously, on its own, 4.5, medium to average body. It's not watery, it's not wishy-washy, but it is kind of light, but it's a typical 4.5% sort of pilsner body. There are good things with this beer, I've got to admit. When I had it on the boat, I enjoyed it, it's got to be said. I do think it's better than the ones that are apparently their #1 beers. Well, Gambia's #1 beer. A little bit corn, a little bit of that sweet corn feel to it, a little bit sweet. Body's quite nice, is malty, quite smooth, quite soft. Yeah, it's perfectly drinkable. It's quite nice. On the taste, malty, a little bit sweet. You definitely get that sort of sweet corn sort of feel to it, that sort of corn feel to the beer, if you like. But it then does end up with a little bit of a hoppy bite, a little bit of a pilsner bite, a little bit of lemon in there as well. It is quite pleasant. I don't want to give too much away, but certainly at this moment, out of the 3 beers I've had while I've been here, I think this is probably one of the better ones, if I'm honest. It will be interesting when I actually sit down and actually review the other beers that I've had. This certainly beats the beer that we get on tap in the hotel, which is Strella, 5.6%. It's only 4.5%, but I've got to admit I quite like this one. I do quite like this one. This is quite easy drinking. It does have a little bit more about it. So yeah, I mean, let's go in again. Let's go in again. Yeah, it's a little bit generic, but I mean, it's one of those generic, easy drinking ones. You're not going to get too much enjoyment out of it, but you're not going to be too pissed off with it either. It's one of them ones. So for me, maybe I should have done me research. I can't help but probably somewhere along the line it'll be owned by Heineken or AB InBev. But Wuld or whatever you want to call it, quality premium pilsner, 4.5%. That's an easy drinker, you know, I could drink that. I would rather that really on tap. But whether their tap stuff is different from the bottle, you know, remains to be seen. But yeah, if I could get that in canned in the hotel, I'd be drinking that all day long. That's quite pleasant. So yeah, there's my views on this possibly Cape Verdean beer. I haven't looked too much into it, but if you've had it before, let me know what you think. If you're out in Cape Verde, at any point, there's like 10 islands. We're on Boa Vista. There's not really much around there, but if you do get a chance to try that, I don't think that's too bad. Don't expect any world-beating pilsner, but what it is a nice easy drinking pilsner. So there you go, there's my thoughts on it. And before I go, quickly, actually, it was Josie and Stephen who went on their whale watching trip. They got that for me, so I mentioned to you two right at the very end. I know it's a little bit late. Big thank you for that. Yeah, if you've had it, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. And that's it. And I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.